So this billionaire is about to lose the love of his life just because he tried to buy love with money. Let me tell you about Chike Obi. Everyone calls him the Oracle because this guy can predict anything. I'm talking about a 32-year-old tech genius, brain wanna finish him, who built the biggest fintech company in Africa from his small room in Enugu. His company, Oracle Sync, processes 60% of Nigeria's digital payments. That's a lot of job, bruh. 60%! The man is swimming in money. But yeah, the thing about Chike is not really his fault, because of the money. But he treats emotions like they are some kind of virus that needs to be eliminated. His life runs like clockwork. Every morning, 5:30 sharp, he's up checking market reports. His AI assistant, which he literally named Ada, tells him exactly what to eat, when to sleep, who to meet. Can you imagine? The man has turned his entire existence into an algorithm. His penthouse in Victoria Island looks like something from a sci-fi movie. All glass and steel and zero warmth. He measures everything in data points, profit margins, user acquisition, market dominance, LOVE. He actually tells his board members it's an evolutionary glitch that clouds judgment. But you know what they say about the best laid plans? On this particular Thursday morning in Lagos, Chike dey rush go the most important meeting of his career. We're talking about a 50 billion naira merger that will make his company the dominant financial platform across West Africa. His driver, Nwabuzo, is navigating that notorious third mainland bridge traffic when disaster strikes. Chike had eaten some shellfish for breakfast, something his nutritionist approved. But his body now decided that today is the day to have massive allergic reaction. His throat starts closing up. His vision gets blurry. He's gasping for air like a fish out of water. The man, when they control billion now with the tap of a finger, he cannot even control his own breathing. That's how bad it got. His imported antihistamines from his briefcase are useless to him right now. He tells one Nwabuzo to find the nearest hospital. But you know Lagos traffic, even if you know the nearest thing, you know they won't go anywhere. Nwabuzo, they panic because his boss looks like he's about to die in that back seat. That is when he now sights a small roadside food stop. And there he drives go. He knows the woman there. He tells Chike, Oga, this woman, she's sabi messing. Where? Enter Adora also, 28 years old, wearing a colorful Ankara head wrap. And she has got the energy that fills up any space where she falls into like this. She doesn't know that she's looking at Nigeria's youngest billionaire. She just sees a man who needs help. And without any question, she springs into action. This woman brews her grandmother's remedy right there on the spot. Fresh ginger, lemon, and honey from Onsoka. But it's not just the medicine, no. She's guiding him through breathing exercises, mixing Igbo and English, telling him, breathe, one day, you go there all right. Her hands are steady when his are shaking. Within minutes, the man who was about to suffocate, is now breathing normally again. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Chike now reaches for his wallet because that's his language. Now everything has a price. But Adora just waves him away. Nothing, my brother. Now what anybody go fit do? She helped him absolutely expecting nothing in return. For a man whose entire worldview is based on give and take transactions, this one just burst in brain. Somebody just showed him pure kindness. Are you kidding me? Nwabuzo drives him to his meeting and Chike keeps looking back at her through the rear window. It's a shocker. He arrives 45 minutes late. His team is panicking, but his reputation is so solid that his investors still close the deal. 50 billion naira in the bag, bruh. Any other day, Baba got a boss celebration. Instead, he feels this strange emptiness, like winning a game now doesn't even matter anymore. That night, he can't stop thinking about her laugh, the way she hummed while cooking, how her eyes lit up when she talked about her dreams. So the next day, Billionaire does something unprecedented. He lies. He puts on simple clothes, shows up at her stall, and introduces himself as CK, claiming to be a data analyst researching informal sector logistics. You want to know how things are on the streets now. Adora doesn't follow tech news or billionaire gossip. She is too busy working 3 jobs to support her elderly mother back in Abia State and saving money for her big dream, opening a restaurant that showcases authentic Eastern Nigeria cuisine to the world. So she really doesn't have time for all that. She starts treating CK like family. She notices he's always tense, never talks about friends or family. It's like he's refueling a machine rather than enjoying the food. So she starts to pack extra portions for him, sharing stories about her late father's farm, her mother's wisdom, her plans for the future. For the first time in his adult life, Chike experiences warmth that isn't transactional. He is now visiting her stall every single day. And his AI assistant Ada is logging this as concerning behavioral patterns. The real problem now hits. Chief Okoro, Adora's landlord, decides he wants to sell the land to developers. She has 30 days to come up with 15 million naira for her own restaurant space, but she loses everything. She just casually mentions it to CK while serving him his usual pepper soup, completely unaware that she is talking to somebody that can solve this problem with what is like pocket change for him. Let's say how much is 15 million. This is where Chike's internal battle now reaches high fever level. His logical mind is screaming at him to help her solve a problem. That is what he does for a living now. Something deeper then is now warning him that this thing is not just about money. When he carefully suggests helping her create a business plan, Adora gives him the response that rocks his world. CK, you sweet past Gary, but my dream must come from my own hands. Otherwise, it no go sweet me. She is rejecting efficiency for pride. Hey, for independence. Yeah. These are concepts his algorithms never accounted for. Meanwhile, his board members are now noticing his distraction. Decision-making speed down 23%. Time away from the office, 45%. The oracle is malfunctioning. It's not really oracling again. After weeks of this internal struggle, his logic finally wins out. He decides to orchestrate what he thinks is the perfect solution. He buys Chief Okoro's entire property, renovates it into this stunning restaurant, and names it Ada's Kitchen. In his mind, he has solved her problem and proven his worth at the same time. The grand reveal is a complete disaster. Picture this scene. Just gauge her. Adora staring at this gleaming restaurant that appeared overnight. Then she now looks at the man she thought was a humble data analyst. His servants start arriving, calling him Oga Chike. News crew show up, reporting on the billionaire's charitable gesture. Hi! The truth crashes down on her like a building collapsing. Who are you? She whispers. And when the full extent of his deception comes out, her face comes strong like concrete. You think I be charity case? You think your money can buy my dreams? I know be your project CK or whatever your real name is. You come here, you lie to me, you make me look like a fool. Take your restaurant, take your PT, I run it down. She walks away, leaving Nigeria's most successful entrepreneur standing alone in a beautiful, empty restaurant that cost him everything but solved nothing. For the first time in his life, Brachike's solution made the problem worse. His greatest tool, and what is greatest pride, his wealth, became his biggest obstacle. Even Ada's analysis is brutally simple. User attempted to apply capital-based solution to emotional equation. Result, system failure. That is when Chike realizes he needs to learn a completely different algorithm. One where humility matters more than money. Where presence beats presence. Where showing up matters more than showing off. He starts researching Adora's hometown, learns basic Igbo phrases, and does something that will shock anybody that knows him. He asks her mother's permission to cut her daughter properly. So much of the two things now. The final scene happens in Adora's mommy's compound in Abia State. Instead of his usual convoy of Range Rovers brochured up in simple bus, instead of his designer suite, he's wearing borrowed farming clothes. He finds Adora and her mother harvesting ugu in their backyard garden, and he does something that the oracle has never done in his adult life. He kneels in the dirt. Mama, good morning. Adora, I came to help. He says softly. Adora looks up. She's shocked. Chike, what did they do here? I came to learn your algorithm, he tells her. His manicured hands are already getting dirty from the soil. You teach me, say, money no fit solve everything. But maybe if I start from where you start, if I show you, say, I respect your journey, your dreams, your pride, maybe you could teach me how to love without trying to solve. Her mother just chuckles, handing him a basket. Oh yeah, come on, show me, say, if you bend your back for work. And yeah, Nigeria's most logical man struggles with ugu leaves, sweat staining his borrowed shirt. But then he finally understands that some algorithms can't be coded. They have to be lived. Here's what the story teaches us. Real love, to be truthful, isn't about always providing solutions. It's about being a partner. You can't buy respect with money or even solve pride with presents. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is admit you don't know everything. and then be willing to learn from somebody whose algorithm runs differently completely from your own. When you truly care about somebody, you don't try to always upgrade their life to match your standards. You step into their world and prove that their dreams matter as much as your own solutions ever could.